What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Sergeant Moose here, back with another Evil Dead the Game video. And today, guys, I want to talk a little bit about a discussion we've been having since the game's launch, and even more so recently since the game went free to play on Epic. And that is the implementation of an MMR system or a ranked mode within the game. Can it work or can it not work? Let's discuss. Alright guys, so as most of you know, this game currently does not have any type of MMR system or skill-based matchmaking, no ranked mode, nothing like that within the game. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't think there's anything within that kind of matches, tries to match players with their, specific level with other players of a similar level. Nothing like that, so if your level, it doesn't matter, 800, 1,000, 10,000, you can get matched with level 1 players, brand new players that just came into the game on Epic Games. Now, is that fair and is that fun, guys? For the most part, for most folks, especially the competitive players in this game, probably not. It can get old playing the same, level 1s over and over and over, have no idea what they're doing. The tutorial in this game is very minuscule, to say the least. It does kind of give the players an idea of what to do, but at the same time, the core gameplay and how to win the game, not exactly. And brand new survivors and demons in this game are kind of just going off doing their own thing, not exactly sure how to focus and win the game. So that is an issue, especially for the higher level veteran players. I totally understand that. Now, to give you my short opinion, guys, on this, do I think there should be some type of MMR or skill-based matchmaking in this game right now? Yes, I do. Do I think it would work if they would put that in the game right now? No, I don't. Absolutely not. And here's why. So just to put it simply from my point of view, guys, being a level, I think I'm like 430 right now. Since the release of the free-to-play on Epic, I've been playing against tons and tons of level 1 survivors and level 1 demons. Now, specifically for me, I'm not overly competitive in this game. I'm more of a casual player in this game. I do play this game a ton, but I have fun win or lose. I don't take the game to heart, kind of like a lot of folks do. So it doesn't overly bother me as much playing against the lower level players, because it gives me a chance to level up super quick. It gives me a chance to prestige out my characters. I'm all about the grind in this game, guys. I like to, just focus on leveling things up. But that's not to say that the folks out there that do want competitive games over and over and over. I totally understand that. This is an asymmetrical competitive game. That's the way it should be. So at the same time, they need to be catered to as well, and they need to be matched with similar players to their level so they can have some competition in their games, instead of just simply noob stomping everybody and just finishing the game in 5 minutes, or just, map rushing a demon and again finishing the game in 5 minutes. So with that said, guys, it's a little back and forth between the player base. I've seen some heated discussion in both Reddit. I've seen YouTube videos of folks calling for a skill-based matchmaking and things like that. But I want to talk a little bit, guys, about how it won't work at this point. I don't think it would work anyway. Obviously, I'm not a developer. I don't know, all of, how that goes into everything and things like that, but I don't think it'll work, and simply because even with the influx of new players, the player base in this game, in my opinion, is still not big enough for a matchmaking or rank system. Now, if this would have been done at launch, at the very beginning of this game, when there were tons of players, this game was actually competing with Dead by Daylight in terms of player base, because we had all those folks come from there to this game. However, there was no skill-based matchmaking in this game. So, you had players that maybe didn't play very well against highly skilled players all the time, and it caused people to stop playing the game and leave the game. In my opinion, if that was going to be implemented at any time in this game, it should have been from launch. Now, that's not to say if we do get a ton of players staying in the game from this Epic release, and maybe down the road, hopefully soon, you never know, maybe the game could come free to PS Store for PlayStation Game of the Month, which would be absolutely massive. It would have a massive influx of players, and also maybe Xbox Game Pass. That would be huge. If those things were to fall into place, and we gained a massive player base, I could see an implementation of an MMR system being introduced into this game. But here's the thing. With how this game's played, especially on the Survivor side, I don't think it would be as difficult on the Demon side, but especially on the Survivor side, I would like to know how you could possibly rank players on a Survivor side if you would go by maybe wins or consecutive wins, things like that. But every Survivor is so totally different from each other. For instance, a support as opposed to a hunter. If you're a support main, how are you going to level up your rank? By getting tons of heals every game, or maybe hunters, getting tons of, headshots or tons of damage, or warriors, a lot of damage, things like that. I mean, I guess that could kind of work in a sense, but it seems like it would be a little bit difficult to work out the ranks between survivors. Now, obviously, a lot of folks go back to Dead by Daylight when it comes to skill-based matchmaking, and I totally understand that. Dead by Daylight is one of the only asymmetrical games that do that, and they do it very well. Obviously, they've had some hiccups in the past. They kind of go back and forth with it. They make it good, then they kind of turn around and, introduce the MMR system, and it goes to hell. But nonetheless, DBD has been able to sustain a strong player base. And the reason why the MMR system and the skill-based matchmaking works in that game is because there's enough players to accommodate that system. If you were to implement that in Evil Dead the game right now, what would happen is, yes, all the level 1s and all the brand new epic players, they'd be perfectly fine. It would work out perfectly for them because there's so many of them that they would face, each other, and they would face different level 1s all the time. They'd have fast queues, things like that. Where it would fail is with the high level players such as myself and even players that are even higher than me. What's going to happen is the queue times are going to be off the charts for that because there's just not enough of the higher level players that remained in this game right now. For instance, if there's a specific amount of high number players, say maybe, 100 of them, 200 on at once, they're going to have to fish through and try to find a demon or survivors to accommodate that demon, and it's going to take a lot longer because there's simply just not the player base there. And another thing too is you're going to find yourself playing against the same players all the time. That's the thing that kind of concerns me about this system, is because you're going to be playing the same players over and over and over, and the queue times are going to take severely long. Now, guys, I did want to mention this from the very beginning, before this game even came out. I did specifically say that this game was going to dwindle down into a smaller cult fan base. Of course, Evil Dead fans and the fans that just enjoy the game genuinely and just wanted to stick around. And that has been the case. And even with the free-to-play Epic players right now, and if it goes free-to-play somewhere else, I still expect it. Maybe we'll have a bigger influx of players, but I still expect it to wind down a little bit. Maybe not as low as what it was before the free-to-play, but I still don't think it will be big enough to implement skill-based matchmaking, unless they bring it to Game Pass and PS Plus free game of the month, of course. But now, a lot of folks might not like this, guys, but here's my thing, okay? This game is intended to be a fun party game, true to the Evil Dead franchise. Yes, there's supposed to be competition there. It is a 1v4 game. That is the game model here we're looking at. However, this game is not an esports game for high competition, high energy that's going to cater to the high skilled players for long term. And what I mean by that is, yes, you can have some badass high skilled matches in this game that are really sweaty, tons of fun. However, these particular demons or survivors aren't going to consistently have that high-skilled variety that they're looking for. Now, guys, I'm not trying to sit here and say that, high-level players should be losing hope for this game. There's nothing like that. I'm just saying I think the expectations are a little bit too high on some folks' ends of the variety of the matchmaking that they're going to be getting if this skill-based matchmaking is implemented. And what I mean by that is, I think a lot of folks are expecting that if we do get an MMR system or skill-based matchmaking, that they're going to be playing a variety of different players with a similar skill level. And that's just not in the cards because there's just not enough players to accommodate that. So the only way I think it could work, and I mean, if there's a lot of players like really, really upset at this and really upset at Saber at this, and just are not happy with playing against level 1 players, take a break from the game. I mean, honestly, It sounds shitty, but take a break. And I had a really good friend mention that to me. My good friend EVP mentioned the same thing. Take a break from the game and let these low levels, grind their way up to the skill level that other players are at. I mean, if it's really bothering you that much to be that worried about high skilled gameplay in Evil Dead the game, then just take a break for a bit. If you want that high level of skill in an asymmetrical game, go back to Dead by Daylight, because sadly that's not what this game was intended for. And again, there could be some awesome, highly competitive matches, but it's not going to be consistent. Right now, that is just not in the cards. At the beginning, maybe, but not now. At least not yet. So, with that said, guys, I mean, it's a little bit of hard knocks there, but I mean, that is just the case. That's the only way it's going to work. I mean, if there are players, I've seen some players truly raging and ranting about how there's not enough, a skill level in this game from players they're facing, like really, really upset at Saber about this. And I mean, honestly, that's not going to change anything. It's not, in my opinion, that's not going to change anything. So, that's my only suggestion. If you're an Evil Dead fan and you love the franchise, you'll probably have an easier time sticking around with this game. But if you're here for just high-level competition and, crazy esports madness in every single game, it's probably not for you right now at this point. So I should just suggest taking a break for a while, calm down and relax and come back maybe when there's plenty more players that are high-skilled. Or, I mean, you can even go the route, go out and find, 4 other of your buds that are very high-skilled just like you and play private custom matches all the time. I mean, it's as simple as that. One thing I do want to mention real quick, guys, before I go, I want to know if you guys agree with me on this, too. Please let me know down below. But new players, brand new players, everybody that is starting this game right now, it doesn't matter if it's Epic or whatever platform, everybody that's starting this game right now should have the opportunity to max out every character to level 25 without having to grind for spirit points. I think that would be a huge jump in skill, because at that point, if you're starting out the game at level 1, you have nothing on your skill tree, you're going to have an insanely hard time, even harder than what you would, if you just had your maxed out level to 25. So hear me out on this, guys. This is my simple opinion. I don't think it would hurt anything at all. Yeah, I mean, it would eliminate a grind to 25, but now we have the prestige system, so it don't matter. Allow everybody, just give them enough spirit points right off the bat to at least get a few characters, at least a few. I would say all of them, but at least let guys get a character maxed out to 25 or a demon to 45. Allow the demon to get to 45 right off the bat, because low-level demons that don't have anything on the skill tree, it is insanely a massive jump from being level 45. So just let everybody max out the characters. I don't think that's going to hurt anything. But let me know your opinions down below, guys. I'm going to end it here. This is my opinion on skill-based matchmaking and MMR, man. I know there's going to be a lot of folks that disagree with me. I'm expecting that, but I don't care. I'm putting it out there, because that's I love this game just as much as anybody else that plays this game. I want to see this game succeed. I know it's had some rough patches, just like any other asymmetrical game. But I don't think MMR is the solution at this point right now. Could be later on, but not now. So with that said, guys, my name's Sergeant Moose. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, ladies and gentlemen.